Hey there, welcome back to Total Geek Live Baltimore Presents. I'm Baltimore and I'm here today to talk to you about Necrosha. This is kind of like one of my favorite crossover events in the X-Men in recent history. So I'm really excited to bring this to you today, so I hope you are on board for it too. So Necrosha took place in between 2009 and 2010. It was a crossover between X-Men Legacy, New Mutants, and X-Force. So you have Craig Kyle, Chris Yost writing it, you have Zeb Wells, and you have Mike Carey. And I really, really loved it because each of the stories were kind of independent, but they got all connected back to, the whole idea of it. And of course, going on at this time, there was the Blackest Night and DC, which was bringing back all the dead people, tainted and so forth and so on. Well, this is basically the conceit here. You have Selene, who is the Black Queen of the Hellfire Club, kind of an immortal vampire mutant. Basically, she's been around since Rome, so a very long time. And so she's decided she's going to make herself a goddess, and she's going to ascend. And she's going to use Eli Bard, who is basically her servant, slave, employee, I don't know, it's kind of like a meandering there. He has found the techno-organic virus, and she plans to resurrect all the dead mutants so that she can absorb their powers, in essence, and become a goddess. And so that's some crazy stuff. You can't let that happen. Celine's a bad, evil woman, and if she became even more powerful, it would be almost unstoppable. So there's a lot of really great things that happen in this storyline. The X-Men Legacy deals with Destiny. She's been brought back. And Proteus. And Proteus is basically an energy form, basically the son of Moira McTaggart. And he's kind of this energy siphon. She has these powers that kind of the only thing that they're immune to is, or that their weakness is metal. Colossus, who happens to be on this team too, with Rogue and Magneto and Husk, which is cool. I like to see Husk again. So that was a really fun that storyline there in X-Men Legacy. That was really cool. So to start back, Selene was gathering mutants to kind of help her, and that would be kind of help her do what she needed to do. To that end, she got Mortis, who is Dazzler's sister, who is the Death Touch, Seneca, who is a former acolyte, and then you have Blink. Now, this is not the Age of Apocalypse Blink. This is the actual Blink from the 616 universe, who was killed in the ocean trying to save the original Generation X crew. So she found where she was. She wasn't dead. She was actually stuck between realities. Which is kind of sad because that means none of the Gen X crew or the X-Men were searching for her, found her, or knew where to look for her. That's really kind of sad. She was left there for so long. And of course, that had a great deal to do with her mental state at the time. So of course, she easily goes with Selene because she's so kind of messed up. So Selene also resurrects Cypher, and she's going to send Cypher to kill Magma. Now, her and Magma have a long history there, animosity going back to Nova Roma, which was a Roman colony in Brazil that Selene was keeping under control and part of, and that was where Magma was from. So she wanted Cypher to kill Magma. So Cypher gets there, resurrected, messed up, but his gift is language. And so he uses that power of language to kind of rewrite himself so that he's not a slave to her. He has his own kind of consciousness, and he chooses not to kill her. And so there's that, like, oh, thank God, because that could be bad. And this kind of turns Cypher into a badass. He was a character that kind of was a joke, but kind of the ramifications of reading body language, reading any other type of thing as language, kind of made him a little bit more valuable, which is kind of cool, even though I thought his death had a lot of impact. Anyway, so he's back. Warlock comes back, and they're kind of together, and he's kind of clears him up, and Cypher is back. So it's kind of cool to see all the new mutants back together, who are partly my favorite team, if I'm being honest. Um, so then you have them going out and trying to figure out what's going on. They see people are resurrected. They're seeing characters that have been dead for years and years and years, and they're coming back. And there's some really great panels, some really great interactions with people who have died and come back, and their kind of response to the person that was have importance to them. You have the Hellions raised from the dead, and they're the team that Emma raised and basically got slaughtered. So that was a really cool impact, and such a shame that they didn't actually stay alive after this. This was a perfect opportunity, but they didn't do it. So you have that fight going on. You have the dead acolytes coming towards Magneto and trying to figure out why he's switched sides. Why isn't he doing what he's supposed to do? They believed in him, and now he's kind of failed them. So that was kind of interesting and cool. So you have all the characters that died because of Emma, and she's shocked and she can't move, and so they have to kind of stop her from, being overwhelmed with all this emotion. So also at this point, Wolfsbane is pregnant, and she has her wolf prince Himrahi from Asgard. Makes a deal with Hela, sacrifices his life to heal Elixir, who will in turn heal Rain. So that's a really kind of sad, dramatic moment because she doesn't even know that he's gone. And then, you have that kind of moment happening, and it's sad and brutal, and like, oh my God, all the feelings right there. And then you have the arrival that will turn that will turn Selene into a goddess. She goes to Genosha. And Genosha was the place where Magneto was ruler and had 16 million mutants, all living happy until Wild Sentinels attacked and killed them all. So there's 16 million dead mutants on the island. And she's going to resurrect them and absorb their energy and become a goddess. And it's kind of like, that's a crazy, crazy ass scheme. And it's something that she sets out to do. And so they all ship out to Genosha, which she's kind of renamed Necrosha. That's kind of where that comes from. And Warpath has to teach the rest of X-Force the Ghost Dance, which will kill evil spirits. So this is something he was taught by Ghost Rider, and kind of has this kind of understanding with this kind of background, Native American background. And in order to do that, he will take his daggers and plunge into Selene and release all the energy. And at this point, she's like, 200 or 300 feet tall and crazy with all this energy and mad. And he has to kill her, and he has to stop her, and he does. And because she's a witch and she's vampire mutant, as soon as she is dead, the effects wear off. So anyone who is returned is now going to be dead again. And it's such a sad ending because there's so many characters that I really like that are dead that could have come back, and this would have been a perfect opportunity, Marvel, to do this, and they didn't. And so you're left with moments of them, waiting until the person, died again, which was the case with Destiny and Rogue, and they had a great moment there towards the end, which was really, really poignant. But I really did like this series. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought that it was, first off, the art was really great and really, really beautiful. And of course, this was a dark and moody, and it was. And very, very evocative of kind of like this creepiness, which was great. So I like that. I like that we got Cypher back. But we do have to, play a little trumpet song for the X-Men that we did lose. And they're not X-Men of major importance, but they're X-Men that I kind of enjoyed. And that's Meld, Diamond Lil. I'm like, come on, Diamond Lil, you killed her? And Onyx. So those are the ones we actually lost and have not been returned. Um, but that's it. I do highly suggest you get Necrosha. It's not a terribly long read. I think it's maybe about 10 or 12 chapters total. Pretty easy. It's a lot of fun. I think you would really enjoy it. Let me know what your favorite parts of Necrosha were. Were you kind of surprised at how it ended? Was there anything that you're kind of like, oh, this is a missed opportunity? Or like, yeah, I'm okay with it. Sound off below. Like, subscribe, and share. And I will be back with you with more X-Men goodness and Marvel fun treats. And as always, it's all geek to us. See you soon.